Welcome to Real Talk with Felice, Inspire Me Moments. I'm Felice Hightower. Encourage yourself. A lot of times we look to others to encourage us out of a dark place. But what about those times when there's no one around, in the wee hours of the morning, when you can't call on your mom or your grandmother or your sis? What are you going to do? And who are you going to call on? Well, we need to find ways in which we can encourage ourselves. One of the ways that I do it is that I either get in my word and pray or just start praising God. When I find that I do that, it lifts me up out of my funk. And I believe you can do the same. Maybe for you, it's listening to music or exercising. But we all need to find ways to learn to encourage ourselves. Please feel free to contact me at www.realtalkwithfelice.com. God bless. Hello, and welcome to Real Talk with Felice. I'm your host, Felice Hightower. Today, me and my panelists will be discussing the topic, what is beauty? We'll be sharing their personal perspectives, societal pressures, and then how to make it better for other women around this topic and future generations. So ladies, let's start with first I'm going to start out with the definition of what dictionary.com says beauty is, okay? Everything is a .com. It says, the quality present in a thing or person that gives intense pleasure or deep satisfaction to the mind, whether arising from sensory manifestations such as shape, color, sound, etc., a meaningful design or pattern, or something else as personality in which high spiritual qualities are manifest. The British version says, the combination of all qualities of a person or thing that delights. So obviously we expanded that definition of beauty. So I'm going to ask you, Deja.
Yes.
So what do you believe is beauty?
My name is Deja Moore. In my opinion, I believe that beauty is the essence of allowing yourself to be yourself. I feel like that is absolutely liberating to not have to apologize for who you are. And to me, that's amazing. Not only is it beautiful, but like I said, it's amazing.
I like that.
Thank you.
Essence.
Thank you.
That was cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Tynesha?
Yes, my name is Tanisha Matthews. And I think that we live in a society where beauty is based strictly upon the outer appearance and what people can see based on just visually looking at people. But my perception is that beauty is definitely bigger than skin deep. It's larger than just being a skin surface kind of thing. It's deep within. And you can meet a person and just because of how their spirit is, you see this light within them. And that's what I define as true beauty. If I can see you and see that you're being real and that you're being vulnerable and you're being honest, I can see the beauty within you, and that just exudes to the outside and shows us who you really are.
Very good. Thank you. Who else would like to answer that question?
I kind of want to expand on what Tynesha said. My name is Kelly Carbony Woods, and I think that beauty has a lot to do with your purpose and how you are adding to the world around you. So even in the definition, it said it can be a sensory experience. So if you're a person who really is, like Deja said, unapologetically yourself, but you're using yourself to make the world a better place, you're going to enhance the experience of everyone you come in contact with, and that makes you beautiful.
Nice. Well, I am really, really blessed today. I have some phenomenal women on my panel. That was nice. Okay, anybody else want a shot at that? Do y'all agree? I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Yes.
And I think that we really need to call dictionary.com, right? And we need our versions of what beauty is in there, correct?
Yes.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so my next question is, what has been your personal story when it comes to how you viewed yourself growing up when it comes to beauty?
My name is Kiara Watson. For me, it was hard because I always battled with my weight. My family is what they consider to be society as obese. And so when I was younger, I was heavier. And I think up until about high school, I started to mellow out in my weight. I was about 175 pounds, which statistically and according to my doctor, I was still obese for my height. And then once I got to college, I was 235 pounds. And so when I looked in the mirror, it was hard for me to see the beautiful girl inside. And it wasn't until I decided to lose weight for myself, and not because everyone else said I should, that I saw the actual beautiful girl that I am now today.
So what took place? What happened? What was that moment where you said, you know, I can't lose weight for other people? It had to have been some kind of defining moment. What was that?
I never saw that moment. It was when I tried on some jeans that were a size 22, and I said I refused to buy a higher size. At that moment, it was just, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to continue going up. I'm going to go down. And it wasn't because my mom said so. It wasn't because my dad or my doctor said so. It was just because I refused to go up another size.
Okay, thank you for that. Because weight is one of the biggest factors that our young girls deal with when it comes to their perception about beauty. So I think that that was right on target with that. Weight is the number one thing. Who else would like to share their perspective on their story?
My name is Renee Harris, and I want to piggyback on what she said. For me, growing up, I've always been skinny. Even in college, when I first started, I was skinny. When I became a junior, that's when I started putting on the pounds. And I was really feeling bad about myself, but I probably got up to like 165. I was always like 125, 135. Then when I graduated, the weight just fell off. So I felt good. I just felt normal. And then again, now that I put the weight on, I don't even know how it happened. Now I weigh like over 200 pounds. And I'm working on losing the weight more or less because, one, I don't feel so beautiful anymore, but two, the doctor said I had obesity and I have to lose it for my health. I have diabetes on both sides of my family. Both my parents have it.
So that's deep. So you're saying that right now, since you've gained the weight, you don't feel beautiful.
I feel less beautiful. I look back at pictures of myself like, oh, I was so pretty. I didn't even care at that point. Like when I was smaller, it wasn't even registering to me. And now I just feel like when I'm with my friends and they're all small, I'm like, oh, I'm ugly, I'm fat, now we're going out. I always want to stay at home.
Well, Renee, this is my first day meeting you, and you're beautiful to me.
Oh,
so I don't know what you look like at 125. You probably had a really big head.
At 115, I had a big head. I weigh 115 too.
I'm serious. But you look well proportioned. You look like a beautiful, curvaceous chocolate beauty.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about that, okay? And I'm going to interject because for the chocolate girls, I'm going to represent, okay? And share my story. Only because the reason I wanted to do this was because growing up dark, I didn't get the attention that my light-skinned girlfriends got. And I don't know what it is, but all the light-skinned girls and white girls love being my friend. I don't know if it made their skin, you know, shine a little brighter because they was beside me. I have no clue, but I've always, even to this day, my best friends have been light-skinned. And I always saw the boys attracted to them all the time, and I was always invisible. You know, and even when you talk about it now, I can still feel those feelings of not being seen. And it wasn't until I got to college that I realized that I was kind of cute. And don't get me wrong, it was like, you know, all the boys was like hollering and stuff, and I was like, get the heck out of here. What happened? It must be the water in Charlotte, because I'm from New York. And so it was like, all of a sudden, and that's a horrible way to get validation and know that you're beautiful. All of a sudden, you know, guys start hollering, and then you realize. But that was what my journey was like. And it's really, you know, for a dark-skinned girl, invisible is a huge word, and that bothers me because there's nothing like chocolate. You know, everybody likes chocolate, whether they want to admit it or not. You hear me? And it's a horrible thing that our babies who are chocolate don't feel the same as my sisters who are on the lighter scale. And I'm tired of that. Well, go ahead.
I wanted to say, and not to undermine your own feelings, so I'm not extremely light. In my own family, I'm on the dark side. And so I'm serious.
Okay.
I mean, Tanisha can tell you, my dad's birth certificate actually says that he's white.
Wow.
But if you see him, it's obvious he's not a white man. So I had a lot of friends who were dark skinned, and I had friends who were much lighter than me. And so my dark skinned friends would say, your hair is so long and beautiful, you got that good hair. And there's still always someone who's lighter than you are, whose hair is longer or more straight or more European in design. And so it's hard for me to listen to you say you felt invisible, because I think we all experience it on some level. And in the same way that you said boys didn't look at you, when you're light and you have long hair, a lot of times that's all they see. So you're smart and you're well read and your parents have cultured you, and you could have this great conversation, but they just want you because you look a particular way.
But how did you feel? So that's good. Thank you for sharing that.
So I've never felt unattractive.
Okay.
I will even venture to say that I revel in being pretty. I'm used to people addressing me as pretty, treating me as pretty. I joke all the time with Tanisha, it don't hurt to be cute. You can get stuff for cheap. You slide in, get in VIP, whatever. But at the same time, it makes it difficult when you are intelligent and educated and you want to be valued in that way, but people only see it. Or when I would make a new friend and they would say like, oh, well, you're really friendly for a light-skinned girl. And it's like, I've always been, so that was my experience. No one ever made me feel ugly or unattractive. I've had similar weight struggles. I've been as much as 265 pounds. I've been as low as 160 pounds. There was a time when I worked out every single day. I had a baby though. He's just over a year. And so I weigh more than I weighed before I was pregnant. Would I like to be a size 10? Yeah, there's a lot of pretty clothes. But Tanisha and I were just having this conversation yesterday. I'm at a place where it's more important for me to be strong and healthy. I have a son, and so his connection to what's beautiful and what he may or may not love about a woman, if that's what he chooses to do, has to do with who I am and what I present. And I don't want him to think it's all wrapped up in how much I weighed or how my hair looks or if my makeup was pretty.
And I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Because I think you made some really good points. And I think that from being on different parts of the spectrum, the color spectrum, and that's what makes women so beautiful, is that there is a spectrum to choose from, is that you were seen as beautiful and you reveled in it because people told you that. Even though you weren't the lightest girl, you were still, you had features that I believe that are European in nature. And so you were told you were beautiful, but you wanted to be valued as intelligent. Now, I was the smart dark girl, okay? I could read a book, you hear me? Front and back. And so everybody expected me to be smart. It wasn't because of I am beautiful, but because I'm smart. So I'm so glad you brought that up, because that is something I've heard my other light-skinned sisters share, is that they were always considered beautiful, but to be smart too, man, God was getting lucky, you know? So thank you for sharing that piece. All of you. Anybody else want to tell me their personal perspective? I want to hear from you, Deja.
Okay. My name is Deja Moore. My experiences growing up and struggling with, you know, finding my place, excuse me, finding my place with, when it comes to accepting what I look like. I feel like being a mixed girl, excuse me, sorry. Being a mixed girl, you know, it came with its challenges. My father is Puerto Rican, my mom is black, so kind of trying to find my way growing up it definitely caused me to be in conflict at times. I didn't really know if I should accept being African American, if I should accept being Puerto Rican. It like I said, threw me in a world of conflict. And also fitting in as a light-skinned girl, you know, that also was a struggle as well, because I would want people to see me as intelligent, not only just because I was light-skinned, you know, oh, she's beautiful, no, but she's intelligent. She has something to say. she's more than what she looks like. So I feel like growing up, that was definitely a struggle, and that is something that I still deal with today. You know, agreeing with what you said, I can definitely relate to what you went through as well.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Yes,
Thank you for
yes.
that, because I'm sure there's ladies out there who are mixed,
Absolutely.
of mixed cultures, who are trying to find their place as far as what is beautiful, and on what side or any side do I have to choose when it comes to that. But okay, and you light-skinned girls, y'all forgive me, okay, seriously. But I had light-skinned friends who were not cute, okay? They was just light. And that irritated me, you know what I'm saying? Because they could pick somebody up like that, and I'm like, y'all, she ain't cute, you know what I'm saying? And that bothered me, because just because you're light, you're right. And so that was another thing that I struggled with, was like, well, here I am, and I'm pretty decent looking, but you'll go out with her and choose her just because she's light. So that's another thing I think that I struggle with being a dark-skinned girl. And, you know, I really want to tell my men out there, y'all gonna have to expand your horizons and bring all of us African-American beautiful women to the table. Like, seriously, come on. Like, it's so much to us. Okay, I'm not gonna go on a tangent with that. Did you want to say something,
Yes,
Tanisha?
I never really had an issue with skin color per se. I mean, I was teased as a child because I did have long, wavy hair, and they would just say, you think you're better than everybody else because you have long hair or whatever the case may be. But that was never an issue for me, and I did also struggle with my weight, but that still wasn't an issue with me. And people would say to me all the time, you're so pretty for a big girl. And I didn't have an issue with that. I was big at one point. I was almost 400 pounds. And ironically, what happened was I suffered from depression and actually became suicidal. After I was able to get past that, I went to therapy. I was on medication. And once I was healed, if you would say so, I just went on a personal journey, and I challenged myself. And at that time, I was like, well, you know what? The one thing I have never challenged is my weight. I never had any health issues. I was perfectly healthy. You know, I didn't feel like I had a reason to lose weight because I felt good even as a big girl. But I said, I'll just challenge myself and see if I can lose this weight. And so I did, and I lost, you know, well over, probably like around 150 pounds. Wow. And at my smallest, I was probably like a size 10, 12, borderline. And I was very insecure.
At a size 10.
Because, and it's something people don't talk about. But at that time, I'm in this new body. I don't know how to maneuver in this new body. Yeah, the clothes look good, but now the things that I'm concentrating on were even issues for me before. I mean, I had big thighs, I had a big stomach, I had big breasts. I was used to those things, but now everything's smaller. And is my waist too big for the body that I'm in now? How are these jeans gonna look like? It was a whole bunch of stuff that I had never even thought of before. So that's when the issues started to occur. And recently I've gained a little bit of the weight back just because it was wintertime and I want to cuddle up with my man and eat whatever. And so I've gained some of that weight back, but I can honestly say that now I feel good. Like, I feel great. I feel beautiful all over again. I don't feel like, oh, my stomach's too big or whatever, because I'm in a place where I love me and I'm loved, and I'm okay with that. And I don't care about what other people think of me. It's all about my journey and what makes me feel good.
Thank you, Tanisha. That was wonderful.
You're welcome.
But watch the men, okay? Because they can eat all the ice cream and cookies they want, and you be snuggled up with them. But when you look over, you be 400 pounds, and they be 200. You know, watch them.
And actually, it flipped though in our relationship.
Oh,
because,
he got big?
Yeah, no, he didn't get big. He just eats the way that I was eating before. That's how he eats now.
Oh, okay.
And so now we've decided to challenge each other. So starting on Monday, we have a challenge going on.
Okay,
so,
good.
So I'm on point.
Well, y'all ready for my next question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so do you believe society has played a large role in how you view your own beauty and that of others? But I'm just going to share something with you around that before y'all answer, okay? Kenneth and Mamie Clark were known for their 1940s experiments using dolls to study children's attitude about race. The experiments showed the preference for the white doll among all children in the study. The findings not only exposed internalized racism in African American children and self-hatred that was most acute among children attending segregated schools, but the research paved the way for an increase in psychological research into areas of self-esteem and self-concept. The experiment, when done again in 2005 in the film Girl Like Me, produced the same results. Wow. And then I believe that they did a documentary in 2012 called Dark Girls that I missed. I have to see it, but I believe it was on the OWN network. Oprah did it. But you look at it, 1930s and 40s. Did y'all ever see The Experiment with the Dolls?
Yes.
Which is huge. I mean, mind-boggling, but it's true. And then in 2005, all those decades later, the same results. So I'm up here asking you, do you believe society has played a role in how we view ourselves and others? What do you think? You want to go, Deja?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
I absolutely think that society has played a major role in what we view beauty is. I feel like the music, I feel like the media period definitely plays a huge part in what we see beautiful is.
What are we seeing?
I feel like we push so much. You have to be it's more of a glam thing. You have to be glamorous to be beautiful. You know, we don't embrace the fact that being natural is beautiful as well. I feel like it throws many of us, you know, in conflict, and it makes us feel like, well, why can't I be natural to be beautiful? You know, and I feel like now we need to promote natural as being beautiful. I feel like as women, we should uplift each other and let each other know that to be natural is beautiful. You don't have to be glamorous all of the time. I enjoy dressing up and being glamorous, that's fine, but on a day-to-day basis, it is okay to be natural. And I feel like society has pushed the fact that you have to be glamorous every day to be beautiful.
Okay, so your take is glamour.
Yes.
As far as what you see.
Yes.
Renee, what do you see?
I agree with Deja, as in I feel society and entertainment does play a major role in what people think is beautiful. For me, I've noticed that, especially in hip hop and R&B, they have people with small waists and plastic surgery, whether it be their breasts or their backside, and that's not always realistic. When you have those two things, you're not always tiny in the waist. And when I was smaller in the waist, and those two things were big on me, and then I get attention that's unwanted because they think, oh, I look that way. Like, I didn't look that way on purpose. That's how God made me.
Right.
So I don't want this negative attention. So, but guys look at it as, oh, it's beautiful or whatever, and women are getting plastic surgery and killing themselves or hurting themselves to look this way. But
So what you're seeing is the sexualized part
Right.
of what society is showing. So we got glamour, we got sexualization.
I agree with what they're saying as far as the over-sexualization, but I really think it comes down to a culture of wanting everything all the time and this immediate gratification. And so you have Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media platform you use, and you know, Deja can post a picture, a selfie of herself looking so beautiful with 10 filters at the correct angle. And if I'm a young girl who's impressionable or an old girl who's impressionable and I don't have enough self-awareness to know that what I have is what, like she said, God gave me and I should appreciate that, we're always trying to be something else that we're not. And it goes further than beauty, but since we're on beauty, like she said, you've got these girls doing waist cinching and body wraps and booty shots and all these things to attain this look that's not realistic, that can't be kept up. And, or even like, I just, you know, I have a son now. You have a baby and this idea of a snapback body, which your body really can never be the same. Another person lived inside of you.
Right.
It could go back to close to it, but things are different, and the idea that you should be the same is just very ridiculous to me.
Thank you for that. So we've got 3 versions of it. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today at Real Talk with Felice. If you have any suggestions or ideas that you would like to contribute to my show, please go to my website, www.realtalkwithfelice.com. I would love to hear from you. Also be looking forward for this show to be on YouTube, and when you see it, like it, click on view. Let's raise the numbers up. And once again, God bless. This is Real Talk with Felice, Inspire Me Moments. I wanted to do this topic because of my own personal journey with beauty. Being a dark and lovely lady, I've had to learn to love myself and to see myself as beautiful, even if society didn't validate me or others. I'm beautiful because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I believe in serving others and giving back. I love deeply and from the heart, and I treat others as I want to be treated. And I know those of you who are watching right now, I know and believe that you're beautiful. And I want you every day to say to yourself, I'm beautiful. And if you have to say it several times a day, then you do that until you believe it. And in the meantime, if you'd like to share your journey with me, please go to my website and go to www.realtalkwithfelice.com. And God bless.